Are you truly living the life you want to live, or are you just settling? In today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 steps on what you can do to step up to become the next best version of you, so you can start living the life you desire and deserve. But before we begin, show reel. Welcome back. My name is Amy Lin and welcome to my channel. In this channel, I share about mindset tips and manifestation hacks that will help you to manifest more wealth and abundance into your life. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 steps on what you can do to become the next best version of you. But before we begin, let's first talk about why do you even want to become the best version of yourself? I know it's a very common term in the personal development and growth space, but really let's talk about why is it that you want to become the best version of yourself. You see, you don't get what you want in life. You get what you are. And I know if you're watching this video, you would agree with me that deep down inside, you know you're meant for more. You're meant for bigger things. You might not know what it is right now, but there's a part of you that wants to help people. Let me know if that resonates with you. There's a part of you that wants to make impact in this world. That's why you want to make the most out of yourself first. You gotta help yourself first. Then you can give to others. You have the tools, the wisdoms, the experiences that you can share with others. So that's the reasons why you want to become the best version of yourself. Not only to live the life that you truly desire and deserve, but also to help others to do the same. The results that you have currently is a combination of who you've been in the past. So if you want to change your results, or you want to improve upon your results, we gotta change who you've been. So now let's get into it. Make sure you have a pen and paper, because I'm gonna share with you some notes and also an action step for you, okay? So I broke it down into 3 simple steps. I call it the triple A. It's like the triple threat, okay? So it's easy for you to remember. The first thing, what we're gonna be talking about is called awareness. You see, when it comes to change, awareness is always the first step to change, because you cannot change something if you're not aware of something. And there's 2 things that I would like to share with you that I would like for you to become aware of. The first thing is that when we're talking about becoming a next best version of you, it's gonna allow you to step out of your comfort zone, and it's gonna feel uncomfortable. It's gonna feel like you're not being yourself. Okay? You hear people in the personal development, they will say, oh, like when they forced to do something different, then you're like, oh, no, that's not me, that's not who I am. But that's actually not true, because it is who you are. It's all you. It's just a part of you that you don't always let it out. You don't always let it focus on it. That's why you don't feel familiar. Okay, you feel it's unfamiliar. I'll give you an example. You'll hear people talk about that, oh, I don't do that because I'm an introvert, so I don't want to speak up in a group setting or do public speaking and things like that. But it's not true, and the reason is because I bet you, maybe it's you or someone you know, that there's in a different setting, in a different environment, then they're extrovert. Right? It might be a environment that they're more familiar with their friends and family, then they're like, talk a lot, right? I know you know what I'm talking about, okay? So You see, it's all you. It's just we gotta allow that side of you to come out more. That's all, okay? And part of that is gonna feel uncomfortable, of course, okay? It's totally normal, and that's part of the process, okay? That's the first thing that I want you to become aware of. The second thing, when it comes to awareness, why is it that you want to become the best version of you? Because you have a goal, because you have a vision that's worth changing for. You see, if you don't have a goal to want to be better, or you want to have more money, more freedom for you and for your loved ones, why change? You can just stay the same, right? But because you have that desire to become better, to have more, right? To be more, have more. So you gotta first write down a goal, a vision of where would you like to be in the next 1 year to 3 years to 5 years. Okay, that version of you, where would that version of you live? How much money would the version of you possess? What kind of assets? How is the person's health? So we're gonna get into that in the second step, okay? But the key thing is make sure that you have a goal worth changing for, okay? Now, that is the first step, awareness. Now that you have the awareness, what's next? Please write this down. The second step to this process is alignment. Alignment. How do you reach an alignment? Okay. This is a process of 2 parts. Write this down. The first part is called release. Release. And you can also call it letting go. Okay. So what are you letting go of? Like I just mentioned earlier, if you want to become the next best version of you, you have to first let go of who you've been. And I love this quote, is that you have to let go of who you've been for who you can become. It's impossible for you to become the next best version of you, still holding on to the old beliefs, old excuses. So how do we let go? I'll share with you a few ways on how you can release and let go, okay? But I will do a separate video, otherwise this video is gonna be really long. So a few things that you can do to start releasing it is, number one, is called a forgiveness exercise, okay? It's a very, very powerful forgiveness exercise where you start to release a lot of the blocked emotions towards others or towards yourself, okay? That's number one. Second thing that you can do is called EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, or some people call it tapping. It's where you, again, release some of the blockages, emotional blockages around your bodies, inside your bodies, okay? So it's called meridians. So in our body, there's pressure points or energy centers or meridians, whatever you want to call it. So this is some of the examples, and again, there's a lot of videos on there, and I'll do another video, a separate video on there. But basically what you're doing is you're saying a statement, okay, that starts off with, even though I am mad at myself, okay, or even though I feel frustrated, I still love and accept myself unconditionally. Okay, so you will say this statement and then also tapping around your body and there's pressure points. Okay, so that's the second thing that you can do. Okay, so now that you do these releases, okay, and how often should you do it? You can do it as many times as you need. Okay, I've done it many times throughout the years. Okay, so this is like with everything else, right? The first time you do it, it's gonna feel awkward. You're gonna feel like maybe a lot of emotions that come up. Totally normal, okay? But I want to share with you that as you continue to do it, it will get easier and easier, okay? Until you're able to release a lot of emotional blockages. Okay, so that is releasing the emotions. But what about those limiting beliefs that's been keeping you stuck? So one thing that you can do is to start introspection. What are you wanting to look and think about? Is I would like you to start examining your belief systems, because your beliefs create your realities. Not all beliefs are true, but beliefs is just something that you've been thinking about, and because you've been thinking about it, that you think it's true. That's why I would like you to start examining your belief system, because they're creating your results. And one of the main beliefs that I would like you to especially focus on is the belief about you. Okay, what kind of beliefs that you have about yourself? Also, what kind of beliefs that you have around money? Because growing up, we've all been programmed, ingrained from our parents, from society, that money is hard to earn. It's hard work, right? So you want to ask yourself, where did that belief come from? That's number one. Secondly, is like, you want to ask yourself, do I want to keep that belief? Because you can start choosing what belief you want to believe. Okay? So this is how you could start releasing all the limiting beliefs. And after you release the emotional blockages in your body, and after you release the limiting beliefs that's been blocking you, what's next? The second part to the alignment process is called rewire. Okay? This is where after you let go of the old, you want to imprint the new. Okay? So what do you want to rewire in? Well, you want to rewire the new version of you. Right? So like I mentioned earlier, now that you've written down your goal, let's say your 3-year goal, 5-year goal is to become a millionaire. Okay, it seems like everybody would like to become a millionaire. So it's an easy example. Okay, let's just say that you want to become a millionaire. Okay, so for this section, what you want to do is you want to sit down and write out, what does that version of me look like? The version of you who is already a millionaire. Okay, already. How does he talk? How does he or she walk? What kind of decision do they make? Where do they live? What do they do every day? What kind of habits do they have? See, so you have to become clear. You're literally building a new character. You're letting go of the old character, the old version of you, and then implementing the new version of you. Okay? So again, I will do a separate video because this is in depth for you to create a new version of you. But that is some of the steps. Okay, so think about the version of you. What would they do? What would they think? What kind of habits would they have? Okay, so once you release the old and then rewire the in, now you're in alignment. Okay, now when you're in alignment, what's next? So the third step to the AAA is attraction. Okay, and then you see that I underline the word action. So when it comes to law of attraction, a lot of people think that, okay, Amy, so I'm just going to close my eyes, I'm just going to visualize, and I don't need to do anything. That's wrong. Okay? Because you see, there's in the word attraction, there's the word action. So action is definitely part of the key, because in this universe, everything is operating by laws. Okay? And this law is, besides law of attraction, there's another law called law of cause and effect. What is the law of cause and effect? Is whatever energy you put out, whatever action you take, is what's going to come back. Okay? So if you don't take any actions, what's going to come back? Just by default. Okay? Things that you don't want. Okay? So we don't want that. So we want for you to start attracting things that will help you towards your goal. Okay? So the attraction part, what does that mean? What do you need to do? Well, so now that you've written down who this person is, right? The next best version of you. How will he or she act and show up? Third step is, now you gotta start acting like him or her. And that's gonna allow you to start taking action. Okay? To start acting like that person. So I'll give you a quick example, okay? If you were already the millionaire that you wanna be, okay? What kind of decisions will he or she make? So anytime when you're about to make a decision, whether that's big decision like buying a car, which car you want to buy, or something small, when you go to the grocery store, when you want to buy a box of strawberry, if you were the millionaire, would you pick the one that's organic, right? Would you pick the one that's cheaper? Okay, that's just a very simple example, you see? And I want you, when in that moment of decision making, I want you to start thinking about from that version of you who already has your goal. Okay, so that version of you would pick whatever that they want, okay, whether it's cheaper or not. Okay, So one thing I do want to note that when you start taking action and start acting like that person, or maybe like you can dress like that person, the way you dress would be different than if you were already millionaire, if you're already achieving that goal, you see? And when you do that, you're gonna feel uncomfortable, right? Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, you're gonna feel like, oh, this is not me. Like, oh, that's not, it is you. It's just a different part of you that you haven't been focusing on. Okay, and so you're gonna feel uncomfortable in the beginning. You might feel imposter syndrome. Okay, and also other people, because now you're showing up differently. Other people might think, "What are you doing? Like you're acting weird," because you're different. You've been operating the same way, and now you're showing up differently. Okay, so I just want to point that out to you because that's very, very important to expect, to kind of anticipate that's going to happen. But do not stop. Do not feel like, oh, I'm just gonna, okay, forget it. I'm gonna go back to my old way. No, okay? This is definitely part of the process. But as you continue to show up as that person, you will feel more comfortable. Then it will feel natural to you because you've been showing up like that version, okay? So these are the 3 steps on what you can do to up-level the next best version of you. So you might be asking, okay, so what's next after I've done that, Amy? You see, it's a process that you want to repeat over and over and over again. So once you feel, and you will know when you reach that next level, okay? I like to call it the next level version of you, 1.0, 2.0. It's kind of like the iPhone, right? Because I have an iPhone. So now iPhone is, I don't know, 10 point something, 11 something already, okay? So it's kind of like you. When was the last time you upgraded you? You see? When you upgrade your iPhone, for example, it runs better, more functionality, right? Everything is just improvement, okay? So I like to use this formula, the 3A formula, to upgrade you. But when you finish one version of you, what's next? You just go at it again. Currently, right now, myself, I've gone to 2 versions. So right now, I'm at Amy 3.0, and I can feel it. Because now that I've done through version 1.0, 2.0, my world changes, everything changes about me. Okay, so I would love for you to give this a try and let me know if you have any questions or comments. Make sure you drop it down below. And if you like this video, if you learn anything about how to upgrade you, how to let you become the next best version of you, make sure you like this video, follow our channel for more manifestation hacks and mindset tips that will help you to manifest more wealth and abundance. Thank you for watching. Until next time.